Hello there, YouTubers, and welcome to another episode of Dr. Cassette's Workshop. Today we have the Pioneer model CT-606 cassette deck on the workbench. I found this at the dump not too long ago. Just never got around to doing anything with it up until now. So I have it plugged in, so we turn it on. As you can see, we do get some light in the cassette compartment. And we do get some solenoid action going on. I don't know what that is good for, but I'm sure we're going to find out. We have, I think those are already LEDs for Dolby, and for the tape type, this does have an automatic tape selector for Chrome and normal. And another thing I notice is the lights for the VU meters don't work. So that's definitely something that we will have to fix. We open the deck, put in a cassette, press play, and it does work. Starts up a little slow, so maybe the belt is a little weak. But all in all, as you can see on the meters, we are getting a constant reading, constant level from the test tone tape. So anyway, let me go ahead and take out the screws so that we can take a look inside of the unit. Here we have the inside of the cassette deck, and as you can see, it's quite an interesting construction that's going on in here. As we look at the main circuit board, you can see there's pretty much nothing on it. It's all integrated onto these cards. So I guess what Pioneer wanted the service people to do is in case of something going wrong, they just wanted you to order in one of these boards and just replace the whole thing. There we have an early dual layer circuit board. Well, that's looking kind of funny. And then over here they even give you a little diagram, a little note on how to make jumper wires like these right there. So you can see these are labeled B. So you'd have to go by this chart and bend a 25mm jumper. So it's definitely quite a service-friendly unit. The mechanism, not so much. It's a typical sandwich design. The belts are a little weak, and this idler wheel down there is not in the best condition either. But I think for right now it's going to be fine. The solenoid that we've heard turns out to be a timer control feature that is not even advertised anywhere on the front. So if you have the thing in playback or even record and pause, you turn it off using your external timer unit. When the timer turns the deck back on, the solenoid releases the pause and record or playback starts. So that's that. Anyway, I'll now have to take care of the lights in these meters in order to get this cassette deck to look nice again. Lamp replacement procedure complete. I had to disassemble the faceplate, and I have it reattached temporarily because the VU meters without the front in place, they just won't hold in at all. But well, went ahead and took this all apart, and well, the first thing I was like, well, what the hell? The backlight for the cassette compartment died, and I was like, well, okay, that bulb failed just in time for a replacement. But no, as it turns out, the fuse, the last one of the 3 fuses, that quit for whatever reason. Replaced that thing and the light came back on. So that was the first thing. And then for these meters, well, what I did, of course, these are those meters that have the light bulbs built in. Might not be able to see it. Well, you can see the two actually we can see it. Got the 2 connections on each side and then the bulb in the middle. So you have to take these meters all apart, which is, well, it can be quite a job. It requires a lot of patience. The original bulbs had these colored sleeves that gives them a different color temperature to make them look more white and not that incandescent. And what I usually do is I try to peel this stuff off and I try to put it onto the new bulb. But in this case, instead of using some rubber, they used the plastic, some heat shrink plastic. So you can hear this is absolutely hard, so no chance you're going to get that off. So I couldn't fit that back on there, so we just have the plain bulbs in there. But still, I'd say it does look pretty good, as you can see. So there it is, and now lights up fully. So now I want to give this some more testing. Maybe we can find some other problems with this. Hopefully not, but well, you can never know. Look at the cotton swabs right there. All of those are from cleaning the rubber parts, the belts and idler wheels and the mechanism. Of course, when those things are getting old, usually you can help them by cleaning them up. And then this Q-tip right here is from cleaning the heads. So you can see there wasn't a whole lot of dirt on there. So that has all been cleaned up in there, all of these parts that you can see, the rubber parts. I went ahead and adjusted the speed of the motor. There is a speed adjustment in the center of it. Important thing is insulate your screwdriver with some sticky tape. If you touch the speed control and the motor housing together, you're shorting out the speed control. And at first it's kind of funny because the motor starts running at the maximum speed, but after a couple of seconds you're going to regret it because you're going to blow up the speed control and the thing is going to run at maximum speed permanently. And trust me, I know it because it did happen to me once. So as you can see, with the speed adjustment done, if I run our terrible test tape, as you can see on the scope, previously it was well, usually around 1016. As you can see, it might still be a little too high, but sometimes it also drops under a kilohertz, so I'd say that's good enough. Of course, cassettes, the whole system is never that precise, so oh well. But I gotta say, adjusting that deck actually did make quite an audible difference with that test tone, so that's good. Something that's not that good, something that's actually pretty bad news is if I should ever go ahead and replace all the belts in this, I'll also have to replace the head, because that thing is quite worn. You go over this head, over the surface with your finger, you shouldn't be able to feel anything, but on this one the tape has worn a groove into the head. So if I go over here, as you can see, I'm really getting stuck in that groove with my fingernail. So that head has headed, so it will have to be replaced eventually. Not today. Same goes for the rubber parts. Let me do some further testing. I haven't tried record yet. And I tried to record, and the first problem showed up. The right channel appeared to be completely dead. I couldn't get any signal on that. So started the fault finding process. At first tried adjusting the input levels, and that way I found out the right channel was not completely dead, the signal was just extremely quiet. So after that, not really knowing what to do, I started up the scope and did some probing. And I started with the record boards. This one belongs to the functional channel, the left one. That one was the right one. And I just compared the signals on all of the pins and found out that it could not be a problem of the record boards because all of the levels on the right channel were much lower than on the left channel. The mixing with the bias worked perfectly fine. I could see that on the scope as well. So I followed the traces into the Dolby boards, Dolby amplifier boards. It was the same on there. These on the On the left channel, everything was fine. On the right channel, everything was way too quiet. But then, after the Dolby board, everything went into the huge mystery that is the record play switch on this deck. I just couldn't get that thing figured out. So I finally said, well, you know what? We can't get to the problem from this end, so let's try to tackle it from the other end. And I started probing along the signal path of the input jacks, and I found the problem that, well, turned out to be extremely simple. That switch, the input selector switch, line or DIN, was dirty. And the mean thing was, it wasn't, it wasn't scratchy or anything. I did try it. And it seemed to behave perfectly fine. Just, well, obviously it just didn't let one of the channels pass through. So I sprayed it with contact spray, and guess what? That fixed it immediately. As you can see, when I adjust the input right now, we get a signal on both channels. So that is now working again, and I guess after that experience I'll be going through with the contact spray for as long as I still have any of that, because the can is just about to be empty. I'm going to go through and I'm going to spray all the switches and all the contacts to avoid any of these problems in the future. I have, by the way, recorded the last part of the fault-finding process, so you can all look forward to seeing that video. A bit of a real-life experience here out of DrCassette's workshop. And of course the contact spray ran out before I even had a chance to spray all the other controls. I really only had enough to give the input selector another shot, so I'll have to get another can. But I guess for right now, I tried all the other switches and they do appear to be perfectly fine. So I think for right now I'm just gonna put this back together and call it good. I did make a test recording and everything works fine. I can't play any music for you due to the usual copyright problems. What I can play for you is a test tone that I recorded. As you can hear, that does work. It doesn't sound all that exciting though. And that's it. Overhaul complete. The Pioneer CT-606 stereo cassette deck is ready to go again. Thank you for watching and see you again soon.